Hey everyone, it's Jamie Slays, and today I'm going to show you my new Driftwood Purple Nightmare tube preamp pedal. I've been lucky enough to have some of the Driftwood Purple Nightmares on the channel before. I had the big one, and I had the mini one with the IR loader. Link in the description below if you want to watch those old videos. And now I've got my very own Purple Nightmare tube preamp pedal. That's a mouthful. As you can see on the screen, on the other screen, I've got a custom Purple Nightmare to match my custom purple Lepsky guitar. So Driftwood a while back sent me the Purple Nightmare preamp pedal, and it was the standard black one, and it was great, but it didn't work. So I think it got damaged in transit, and they were very annoyed, as you'd understand. So they said, tell you what, send me it back and I will make you another one. So I said, do you make custom ones? Can you make a custom purple sparkle? And he said, I can. I don't usually, but I can. And I said, can you make it with a yellow logo? And he was like, I'm not sure, let's find out. So I'm pretty sure it's a metal alloy, and then the alloy is laser etched for this kind of logo stuff. So it's embossed, you can actually feel it under your finger. And then he fills in, I guess a machine, or he does it by hand, fills in the colors afterwards. I have the chicken head dials as well. I quite like those. They're similar to like a PV or an amp, and usually they come with just standard little normal dials. I don't know what they're called. And it sounds amazing. I realised I've been playing with it for quite a while and I haven't actually made a video with it yet. I didn't make a video with the previous one because obviously it didn't work, so I didn't want to show off anything that was wrong with it because that's not fair, because it was amazing. It just probably got damaged in transit. It made lots of weird noises. So I've got the pedal going into the effects return of the Dover DA50 into the 2 notes captor X using IRs on the Torpedo app into my Mac Studio in Logic, and recording it that way rather than having the IRs on the computer, just because it makes it a bit more seamless. The pedal itself has loads of features which I'll just talk through as I'm making the video. I'm not going to do a specific thing, I'm just going to literally talk through and play with it. So yeah, let's just start off with it how it is. It's on bypass mode at the moment, so you should only hear the effects loop kind of clean tone. And the Torpedo does have a heavy noise gate on it, so it does sound a bit weird. Yeah, you can't even really hear anything because I've got it going like high gain. So I'm going to turn it on, and it's just going to be the pedal itself with the IRs that I've loaded. So, there's a lot of features on this. You can see up here, there's a 2-watt output into a cab, so you can just literally play directly from it. You don't necessarily need something like a 2 notes captor. It's got an output, which I'm using into the effects loop, a return and a send, so it has its own effects loop if you wanted to plug other things into this. And then it has to the amp input, so you can go straight into the input of the amp rather than the output, and then the guitar input. It's got its own power supply, which is a 12-volt DC, has rumble, sharp, volume, tone, gain, master, bass, mid, treble, gain, TS sep, high, low, sizzle, TS down here. So the top bits are the tube screamer. So as an inbuilt tube screamer, just like the Driftwood Purple Nightmare head does, and those have a noise gate as well, I think. So these are controlling just the tube screamer bit. Then we've got the sharp and the rumble, which I'll show in a sec what those do. Rumble is more bass, sharp is a bit more treble and presence. Sizzle is, I think, similar to the voicing on like a Mesa, where you can have like vintage, crunch, and like ultra, whatever they're called, vintage, modern, and standard, I think. Then master is how much of the pedal you have going in, because I actually have it going into the effects loop. It doesn't make it louder necessarily, it just gives you more of it. And then the bass, middle, and trebs are standard, and the gain as well. So the high and low is the input, the output even, so it's high gain, low gain. So let's just try it on a low gain without the tube screamer on. This is how it sounds. Now let's try this sizzle to show you the difference between what that does. Yeah, I think like that is like, you know, vintage mode, maybe standard and then like modern. There's no actual description on what they do. It's just like hardly any sizzle, some sizzle and lots of sizzle. But then the rumble, there you go. Lots of bass. No bass. See, the sharp is what is like another presence, or it's just presence essentially, because there isn't a presence on here. If I turn the treble down on this, and I keep these fairly up, and then turn the sharp up, there you go, you can hear it. I'm pretty sure the sharp is like a presence dial. So now let's try this with the tube screamer on, and then we'll go to the high output after. So standard kind of 12 o'clock. On a tube screamer, most of the time you'll put the gain just to 0. But sometimes you can have it here. This is a quite common tone people use. But a lot of the time it'll be these. So yeah, you can have it like this, or you know how I was showing before. The TS SEP is so that you could use the tube screamer on its own with an amp. So if you were going into the input of the amp, the tube screamer would be the only thing on. So if I turn this off, see how the tube screamer is still on? If I do this, it turns it off. So if I leave that on, you can still hear the tube screamer coming through. If I turn it off, or this way, we've gone back to the gated version. So yeah, I actually would leave that on, because if I was using it into an amp, I would want to use just the tube screamer on its own. It means you don't have to have another one on your board. So let's switch now to high output. Let's just turn the tube screamer off for now, because we want to hear how that sounds as well. And now I put the tube screamer on. Probably gonna maybe dial it back a little bit. So you can see, even with the tube screamer on and then the gain dialed right back, it still sounds super good. I actually really like the low output version. And then turn the gain up on the tube screamer as well. So I feel like that's probably enough of the demo. I'm going to do some more content with it. I just wanted to show it off because I haven't actually shown it off yet, and I'm ever so grateful for Driftwood for sending it over and matching it to look like my Lepsky guitar, and it's awesome purple glittery finish with the yellow logo. I'm not sure if Driftwood are going to start doing custom finishes. Maybe, depending on how well this video does, they might, and maybe they'll charge a bit extra and you can have a custom logo, or maybe they won't because it's too much work. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the pedal. I think it is amazing. It's essentially an amp in a box. It dials in very easily, and it dials in the sound that I really like the most. It's the, it's the kind of 5150, 90s, noughties, Mesa 5150, that kind of sound. For me, it sounds exactly how I want it to. It sounds like Silosis. I can play Metallica really easily with it. Any kind of thrash metal stuff. I'm using Fishman's. It sounds fine with those, and it sounds great with passive pickups too. Maybe I'll do more of a breakdown down the line with other types of guitars, different tunings, that kind of thing. But for now, I just wanted to show you how it sounds. Also, before you panic, yes, there's meant to be a light on here. Mine doesn't have an LED switched on or wired in, just because the LED is purple and mine is purple. So I think it would have been too bright. You may notice on other people's they have an LED on theirs. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the pedal. Do you like it? There'll be a link in the description below if you want to get your own. Like the video if you enjoyed it, because then I know that you like it when I do stuff like this, pedals, amp, guitar reviews, that kind of thing. What more things do you want to see? And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because then when I post new videos, you'll be notified of that also. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye everyone.